Dramatic makeup, colorful wigs, and allegations of skin lightening. These celebrities were unrecognizable when they posed for some now infamous magazine covers. It makes sense that Gisele Bündchen might want to try out a new look following her divorce from Tom Brady, and where better to do so than a shoot with Vogue Italia. On the cover of the magazine's March 2023 issue, Bündchen was a vision in red. Her red dress perfectly matched her slicked-back red hair, which was tinted the same shade as her bold red lipstick and her barely there arched red eyebrows. It seems that Vogue Italia was well aware of how different their cover model looked. On Instagram, the magazine wrote, "Our cover story is a chromatic journey through the thousands of transformations of a woman who, usually portrayed naturally, is almost unrecognizable here." Fans confirmed that Bündchen was fully unrecognizable on the striking cover. While many praised the new look, others preferred her more natural appearance on runways, such as Victoria's Secret. One fan tweeted, "To me, these pictures just cover her up." 2016 was a pivotal year in Taylor Swift's career. It was the year she broke up with Calvin Harris, had that fling with Tom Hiddleston, and first met Joe Alwyn. It was also the year that Kanye West included a nude statue of Swift in the video for Famous, a song in which he infamously took credit for her stardom. The very same year, Swift appeared on the cover of Vogue, and many fans were surprised by the singer's appearance. At the time, she was known for her side-swept bangs, but the Vogue cover showed Swift with a much more severe chop than fans were used to. Her hair also appeared to be several shades lighter than her normal golden blonde, and her blue eyes seemed to have been lightened as well. Vogue was aware of the singer's surprising look, and the accompanying profile was fittingly headlined, "Taylor Swift as you've never seen her before." In fact, editor-in-chief Anna Wintour revealed on Vogue's podcast, "We thought that we could take Taylor, who is a beautiful, beautiful girl, but has been a little bit more conservative in her fashion choices, and turn her into a heady slaman rock and roll girl."
We love the way she looks. We think she looks young and modern and different.
To launch her album Witness, Katy Perry chopped off her trademark locks in favor of a short blonde pixie cut, telling W Magazine she felt liberated by the decision. The singer has always transformed to match her music, from her iconic California Girls wigs to the purple do she rocked in the music video for Wide Awake. Still, Perry's appearance in the February 2019 edition of Paper came as a shock to even the most seasoned fan. Dark under-eye eyeshadow, bleached brows, a light pink lip, and wispy dyed black hair made her almost unrecognizable. One fan wrote on Twitter, "I didn't know that was her at first." During her interview with Paper, Perry deemed her pixie cut a real landmark moment in her ongoing style evolution, saying, "When you don't have long hair, you really can't hide behind it. Everything is exposed." It's common for former child stars to experiment with new looks while they try to find their place in the entertainment landscape as adults. In the mid-2010s, Vanessa Hudgens' career shifted from teen films like High School Musical to racier roles in movies like Spring Breakers. And when it comes to making a huge career move, appearing as an almost entirely different person on the cover of a magazine seems like a natural part of that process. In August 2014, Hudgens posed for the cover of Flaunt in a cropped white shirt, bearing her midriff and belly button piercing. She was given highlights for the photo shoot, and her eyebrows were lightened as well. Combined with smoky eyeshadow and a sleepy-eyed pose, Hudgens may as well have been someone else entirely. One fan took to Twitter to reveal they'd mistaken Hudgens for Rihanna, while another suggested she looked more like Taylor Swift in the photos. Often, fans are the ones to notice when their favorite celebrity looks unfamiliar on the cover of a magazine. In the case of Elizabeth Olsen's Empire cover variant, however, the WandaVision star was the one to point out that her face seemed different. In March 2018, Empire had just released a number of different covers to promote Avengers: Infinity War. The magazine paired Scarlett Johansson, Chris Evans, Robert Downey Jr., and Letitia Wright on one cover, while Olsen posed with Dave Bautista Bautista, Benedict Cumberbatch, and Denai Gurira. Even though Olsen's Scarlet Witch costume was instantly recognizable, her face seemed to have been photoshopped past the point of recognition. For one, the shape of her mouth looked completely different, and her recognizable cheekbones were smoothed out of existence. In a since-deleted Instagram post, Olsen asked her followers, "Does this look like me?" The resulting social media backlash was so intense that Empire released a statement to Newsweek, claiming, "Empire magazine did not make any alteration to the Avengers Infinity War artwork, supplied to them by Disney and Marvel Studios that appears on the May 2018 cover." In other words, the Mouse House itself was allegedly the one to Photoshop Olsen's face. Kim Kardashian is one of the most photographed women alive, and she's no stranger to causing controversy, especially when it comes to photoshopped Instagram snaps. However, in the case of her Interview magazine cover story in 2022, it wasn't Photoshop that shocked fans, but Kardashian's radically different styling. She appeared on the cover of the American Dream issue with her infamous derriere framed by a jockstrap, but it was her face that drove all the conversations. Contrary to her usual appearance, Kardashian sported bleached brows, contouring that appeared to change the shape of her cheekbones, and hair so blonde it was almost white. In the corresponding interview, Kardashian credited her glowing appearance to self-care, saying, "I really take care of myself. I work out and I eat as plant-based as possible. I'm not perfect, but it's a lifestyle. I feel really good in my own skin these days, so maybe that comes through."
But I have more energy than ever. I cut out so much sugar.
In 2022, Jessica Chastain won the Academy Award for Best Performance by an Actress in a Leading Role for her transformative turn in the eyes of Tammy Faye. In order to look more like the famed televangelist, Chastain spent a reported 7 hours in the makeup chair to undergo a process that involved extensive makeup, prosthetics, and wigs.
It's important that I tell her as she was, not as people want to remember her.
In 2015, W Magazine lauded Chastain for her willingness to transform herself into a multitude of characters. For the stunning cover image, she appeared with a shock of vibrant pink hair in place of her natural red. Her eyebrows were blocky and black, and her lipstick was a far bolder shade than fans were used to seeing her wear. While promoting Crimson Peak, Chastain pointed out that disappearing into her roles can be a double-edged sword as a woman, telling W, "I would hear 'Who is the real Jessica?' a lot. I think of versatility as a good thing, but it does make it difficult for audiences to know you. They rarely say that about men." Lucky magazine is sadly no longer around. However, before it folded, the publication managed to generate a firestorm of controversy thanks to its cover story featuring Kerry Washington. Fans were baffled by the image, which saw Washington's familiar face altered and transformed into what appeared to be an entirely different woman. Her nose and eyes were shaped differently, and her severely chopped bangs seemed to alter the entire shape of her face. Even more concerning was the fact that Washington's skin seemed to have been lightened. One fan, who received a physical copy of the magazine in the mail, tweeted, "So the Lucky magazine with Kerry Washington just came, and yes, it does look that bad. The inside pics are not much better. It's the lippy." At this point, fans are used to Miley Cyrus changing up her look. After all, she skyrocketed to fame on Hannah Montana, a show in which the audience was meant to believe she transformed into an entirely unrecognizable person just by putting on a wig. Then, during her Bangers era, Cyrus shocked everyone by chopping her hair into a side-swept pixie cut and twerking at the VMAs. In February 2014, Cyrus surprised everyone yet again when she appeared on the cover of W Magazine. Featuring a shock of white blonde hair and dyed eyebrows, Cyrus posed seductively while wrapped up in a sheet. Gone were the normally thick eyelashes she wore in favor of a more subdued look. The corresponding profile emphasized her shift from Disney star to bona fide bad girl, with Cyrus telling the publication, "I'm trying to tell girls like that. You don't have to wear makeup. You don't have to have long blonde hair. That's not what it's about. It's like personal style." On Victorious, Ariana Grande was known for her bright red hair. However, when she launched her stratospheric pop career, it was Grande's high ponytail that made her instantly iconic. She wore the sleek brunette look for years, sporting it in everything from music videos to paparazzi shots.
Ariana, wait, stop. When did this whole thing with your hair start?
On the cover of British Vogue in 2018, Grande decided to switch up her image. She wore her hair down and dyed it blonde, immediately erasing the one iconic image people had of her. Additionally, while posing for the magazine cover, her makeup was completely different. Typically seen in heavy makeup, Grande showed off a much more natural look. For instance, the bridge of her nose could be seen covered in freckles, though it's unclear whether they were real or drawn on. When the cover hit social media, fans were shocked by the star's appearance, but in a good way. Reacting to the magazine, one person tweeted, "I barely recognized her. She looks stunning." Another fan suggested that Grande should have ditched the ponytail long ago. Speaking with British Vogue, Grande discussed her lingering sorrow about the 2017 bombing of her concert in Manchester. Perhaps the singer felt it was best to strip back her pop star costume for such a serious topic, considering she ended the profile with a hopeful quote. Grande concluded, "Sometimes it's kind of just about being the light in a situation."